Hey everyone, so this is my review of Midnight Texas, Season 2, Episode 3, called To Witch Hell and Back. And essentially what this episode is about is that Manfred helps Fiji discover what is threatening Bobo's life. And while that's going on, Joe sort of settles into his new night job, and the Rev sort of recounts a lot of his history and stuff, and just everything around that. And this was a really interesting episode that definitely had a lot of really good moments to it, but I don't know if it was like a fully solid story altogether. But maybe that could be just because it was just setting up for a lot of sort of plot lines and stuff to come, which I would fully believe with everything that happened. And everything with Manfred in this episode was interesting, with like the sort of two storylines that were going on, where the main sort of one with him and Fiji and stuff was interesting, with Fiji looking into trying to figure out what's going on and what's sort of causing her to not be able to have sex with Bobo without his life being threatened and stuff, which, like, a lot of that really kind of bugged me because I thought it was something that she already knew about, which was that her family is cursed and they can't essentially fall in love with anyone without that person dying, and how all that plays out and stuff. Like, her discovery of that felt weird because, again, I thought that was something she already knew from season 1, and with this, like, boy that she fell in love with and how he died after she sort of acknowledged that she fell in love with him and stuff. But I guess she must have more attributed that to her being a virgin witch and she can't have sex and stuff. I guess I could see that, but still it just felt weird that she, like, was astonished by this discovery of her being cursed. But I did enjoy definitely with Manfred helping her out and stuff, and him going to witch hell so that her aunt can come back and help her and stuff. And everything with witch hell and stuff was really, really fun, with it being that if Manfred is touched at all by any of the other witches there, that he will be doomed to live there for the rest of his life and like the rest of time and stuff. So his approach to try and keep them away and stuff is interesting, with it being that these witches are terrified of light. So he has like all of this like flares and flashlights and gear and stuff to try and keep them away, while Fiji has a conversation with her aunt and stuff. And just how all that was shown and done was so much fun to watch. Then everything with Manfred and Patience was interesting in this episode, with Patience going to Manfred to try and get some sort of like social help because of the fact that she's feeling abandoned and lonely with Kai being gone, and how that all played out and stuff was interesting, especially with what it revealed with how Kai is essentially starting to abandon Patience for other people and other stuff, and like how that's affecting her and stuff was very interesting to see, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen to the relationship between Kai and Patience in the future, now that this divide is kind of being drawn. Then everything with the Rev and stuff was interesting, with what it all finally revealed and stuff about his backstory, where it was discovered that he is actually essentially like a fake priest, because of the fact that he killed the original priest like on a full moon night and stuff, and how he then chose to sort of take over that priest's life to try and like renew himself from all the bad deeds that he's done, and how all that worked out and stuff was interesting, especially with what it revealed and stuff, with how he came to Midnight and how he sort of was there to help out everyone else, from Lamb to like all the other residents as they slowly came into Midnight and stuff. And that was really interesting to see. But I also hate it so much for the fact that he chose to leave, and how like all these characters and stuff that I really enjoyed from the first season are all seeming to disappear, and I don't like that. But it just like especially bugged me with the Rev and stuff, how we finally got this episode to get to know him and get to know his backstory and stuff, just for him to leave at the end. That is just really, really annoying to me and stuff, and I don't like it. And yes, I am happy that he finally is getting his happiness and that he's finally free from this like curse that he was under that was causing him to essentially be like a werewolf, but not actually a werewolf, more like a shapeshifter. And that Kai freed him from that and stuff, that he's finally able to be the person he wants to be. I am so happy about that, but I hate that he left. And I really hope that he comes back sooner rather than later. Then everything with Olivia was interesting with what it all sort of sets up and stuff, where she is still sort of dragging on and bugged about this connection with Lamb that she has sort of telepathically and stuff. So she's sort of dealing with it. And then I think it was Madonna is her name. She's sort of there sort of being a drinking buddy for Olivia for the night and stuff. But then it seems like she has some alternative plans that she wants to do with Olivia when she accidentally sort of cuts Olivia and then takes a sample of her blood somewhere that we don't really know about yet. And I'm very curious to see sort of what that plot line sort of setting up for future episodes. And then everything with Joe and stuff was interesting with him taking on his sort of role of being a demon hunter once again, and how he is joining this human demon hunter and stuff to go on these little adventures slightly outside of the town of Midnight to go and track down these demons and stuff and take them out and all that stuff. It's interesting to see Joe sort of step into that role again and how he's learning to enjoy it and stuff. But I'm also very curious to see what's going to happen once it is finally revealed to his human friend that the man that he fell in love with and all this different stuff is a demon. And how that was sort of hinted at that Joe's trying to figure out how to approach that to this other guy, but then doesn't know how to directly say it. And especially it's going to be weird and stuff with Joe definitely showing that he's growing romantic relationships with this guy and is essentially going to start cheating on Chewie with this guy and stuff. It's just, I'm very interested and curious to see what's going to happen there. And I really hope that they don't kill Chewie off, because he is a character that we haven't gotten a lot of introduction or stuff to him, but he is someone that I'm very interested and really hope to get to know in the future. And I'm just really curious to see what's all going to happen now that this sort of love triangle is going on with Joe. And just all of it, I'm very interested to know and see what's going to happen there. And then just overall, this was a really interesting and entertaining episode to watch and see how everything played out. And I'm very curious and excited to see what they're going to do going forward with all these different sort of plot lines that they're laying out for the season and stuff. I'm just really, really excited to see. And just, yeah. So that's my review of Midnight Texas, Season 2, Episode 3, called To Witch Hell and Back. And just, yeah. So, bye!